As always, unreleased howls with that intro track. Thank you, my friend. El Campbell with 3 beautiful pieces bringing our set to life, I guess. That's elcampbellart.com. El designed rugs with some amazing work at our feet and styled by Nadia Rosa. I'm sat here with Thomas. Beautiful sitting here with you again. What's going on, bro?
Mate, not a lot. Really excited to get stuck in today. EP1, lot to articulate, lot to talk about, explain the concept, and now I'm pretty keen to get into just some good old-fashioned radio host stuff and fling some tracks around.
Yeah, dog. Family, what's going on there? How are the boys?
Family, boys are good. Boys are good, man. They're getting more and more beautiful and developed every single day. Billy says, "I love you," and he talks to me. And
It's the best, eh?
And Benson's just started going, yeah. Yeah. So it's just everything you kind of go, oh, mate, ask him a few questions about what it might be, and all of a sudden, yeah. Oh, yeah, the balloon, yeah. It's like, okay, sweet. So he's starting to communicate, and he's such a sweet little boy. So, it's just all blessed up stuff at home. What about you, man? How's your little fam?
Great. Lauren, amazing, and Esther playing the drums. Still loves listening to Turnstile, like driving her to daycare, and she requests punk music, which is sometimes a lot at 7:30 in the morning.
So she's on the drums.
Her drum kit is set up next to mine. Actually, Howls, who with the intro track, bought that drum kit for her with his beautiful partner Siobhan. And yeah, she likes hitting tubs.
Wow, that's super sick. Is that hereditary, do you think?
I don't know. It's just like, it's probably really fun to hit stuff and make loud noises as a kid. And she gets to do it with me. So the piano's set up, drum kit's there, and then my drum kit. And so I'll just sit on the kit and just sort of play, and she'll just move between the two, and it could last 5 minutes. It could last half hour.
Man, that's so sick.
It's really, really cool. It's quite loud. I had to like remove a crash cymbal and like soften the hi-hats. But yeah, she really, really loves it, man. Like we dinner this evening. We had some friends over, and yeah, she was just dancing.
It's amazing. I've been looking for ways to get my boys slowly into music. We've got a piano that my mum gave us, and babies and pianos don't really mix that good.
It's kind of a tough listen.
It is a tough listen, and that's all good. And then I've got my few guitars, which are old shitty guitars.
Yeah.
And they've just lost about 3 strings each, and now no one's playing them because the boys just love it, and they go up and they pluck it and they pull that thing. It's an old copper string, it's got green on it, so they just get snapped right out. So I haven't actually found a way to integrate music with my boys.
I'm sure Nadia would love for you to buy the boys a drum kit. Don't tell her, just bring it and she'll love it. You have mentioned a few times that you played guitar. Are you still actively playing?
No, I'm not, which is sad. Yeah. But I often get the feeling of, I need to start playing guitar again. Yeah. And I suppose this speaks to broadly this project. Yeah. It's a bit like, I need to indulge in creative output. I need to play guitar. I need to jam. I need to listen to music, share music. It speaks to a thing in me. But yeah, it's just not been an appropriate time with 2 young kids. And I know that's a bad excuse, and it's probably the time you need it.
It's so hard though.
But yeah, I'd love to get back in. But before I do, I need to purchase myself a quality, or I should say a standard guitar. Yeah. You can't actually play guitar on the things.
Fender, if you're listening. Yeah. Friends of the show, Fender, please.
Yes. Even at Gibson Les Paul, 78.
The only times I'll really get to play, if the girls are out of the house, which is like we're usually out of the house together, or when Esther's playing. So then I'll sit behind the kit and just sort of do my own thing to a certain extent. And that's really the only time I'm playing now.
Do you ever play with a melody? Like, do you ever put on a track, let's say, with no drums and play over the top, and it's just a looped? Or do you ever loop out some chords and so you've got a framework to be drumming off?
I used to just jam so much with mates that when I would go back and play by myself, I would have in-ear headphones, and I'd either play to a click or I would just, play to a song, and just so I could get tempo correctly. But now, sometimes playing to a song is the only form of jam I have. So I will sort of not necessarily learn a song, but play along on. That's the jam and the peaks and troughs and the energy of the track. Like that's, an outlet for me now.
Yeah, right. That's dope. And you actively still drumming, not as much as you would have liked, or how would you put that?
Still casually playing at home occasionally with my 3-year-old daughter. Essentially, is the extent of drumming at the minute. We would, for a while there, like middle of COVID, where we were allowed 10 people in a house. We would go around to my friend Tyson's house, Ben Taylor's house, and there would be instruments all set up, and we'd pretty much just go and like sit in this dirty living room and play music. And it was just like a really great way of exploring, because I'd usually be rehearsing with bands and, like each rehearsal is like set. It's not as much exploration, but the jamming stuff was just so much fun.
Can you read music, or do you have an intuitive ear for the music? Can you find your way up and down a bass guitar pretty easily?
No, not at all. Just like percussion wise, it's pretty black and white. You don't have to have much training behind it to be like, okay, that's the snare drum. I've got to hit that at that time.
Right.
I could read drum notation, but again, it's just ear, man.
See, I thought drum notation and rhythm was the hardest to read by a mile. That's what my sources are telling me.
Oh, probably because that's what I learnt. Maybe not. But, oh, man, was it a drummer that told you that?
It was a producer. Yeah, it was a producer who seemed to think that the way that rhythm is and would make sense with all the different drums and all the different intervals and the way that it unfolds is more complex than the 7-note system or the 12-note system. There's only a certain number of combinations, where I thought it was explained to me that, the way in which drum notation let it out was like highly complex. And then you listen to drums, you go, well, that wouldn't be easy to transcribe.
Well, I guess because like the velocity of how you hit something and where you hit it on the snare drum, and like there could be, a 16-bar beat. 16-bar beat, and you could have 7 drummers and it would all sound differently because of just their, like, what their pocket is, their style, like how they hit the fucking thing, Like that's probably what he's getting into.
Right. Okay.
And the big one is like Ringo Starr, like how he would play in the Beatles. And then if you got Dave Grohl to play a Beatles song, you would know that is not Ringo Starr.
Right, gotcha. So
not necessarily you could know it was Dave Grohl, but you would know it's not him.
It's an intimate thing, right? Everyone's got a signature.
Kind of, yeah. I don't know what my signature is. Man, playlist for today. McGee.
Yes.
New track, Rock Man.
Yes, what an amazing tune that is.
Yeah.
That was a Matt Z contribution. And, we've outlined probably in Act 1, it's a bit of an exploratory relationship we have. I listen to the track and it's not, stinking slum rock, UK grime,
me like
rap.
Scared.
Yeah. It's
to
not
my core.
frightening. Yeah. No, it's really upbeat, or it's really vocal. This one was guitar-y vocal. It was like James Taylor.
Yeah.
Mexico. It was really funky but contemporary. I really liked it, and I thought it was MKG. I don't know how you say his name. McGee. Yeah. Okay, McGee. That's a weird way to do it. But there's another song of yours, McGee. CZ.
Possibly, yeah.
CZ 2020. And I was listening to it a lot in the Queensland hub, and it's an absolute banger. And maybe I might be able to break the fallacy, the two-song law. We're
going to try a triple on our second episode.
Yeah, well, actually, maybe not. But I'll take your recommendation on that. But it's a really cool song, and it has great significance of me. And we have a really great chat on this show with one of our guests, and we get right into that period of time, and this takes me right back there. And so I'm really cool and really glad to see that he's come out now. He's just released one of the biggest albums ever, and he's biggest rock star in the world right now. Is that correct?
MKG.
Yeah, is he
McGee.
Guitar mad dog? Am I?
I don't think it's the biggest album, but in the pop circles, I can see this release now really starting to grow.
Yeah, is he blowing up? Have I caught that right?
I think at this point in time of recording, we're in the blowing up process.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah. See, he reminds the Rockman track that I'm referencing reminds me of like Phil Collins making a song for a Frank Ocean album.
I'll pay that.
That was my first reaction.
No, it is unique because it's got this vocal thing happening, and that creates a sound in itself.
Yeah.
That's like the core of the song almost, but then there's this super funky guitar stuff happening. It is. That's a cool way to describe it.
It is like nothing else at this present time, which is probably quite rare. I reckon let's listen, man.
Yeah, I reckon lead us in. Let's keep the 2-song law, but for the listeners,
we're going 3.
home,
we have to go 3.
We're going 3?
We're going
okay,
3.
Sweet. Look forward to the song. See you on the other side.